Hi everyone! Today we're going to be doing a little video on the eclipse in Taurus that is coming up on April 30th. And even if you're watching this in the future where it's past April 30th, this is still going to be a good video for understanding the underlying energy of what's going to be going on for the next about year and a half, because that's about how long eclipse periods last. So with all that said, let's jump on into looking at the chart and pulling some cards as well, talking about the eclipse in Taurus. Alright, starting out with the cards that I pulled for the Taurus eclipse for the collective reading. We're going to begin with discussing the North Node and the planets that are transiting this eclipse. So we have more than just the sun and the moon in Taurus right now. We have the sun at 10 degrees and the moon at 10 degrees for this Taurus eclipse. And it's very interesting that it's at 10 degrees because 10 represents Taurus in general. So 10 is saying that this Taurus eclipse at a Taurus degree is all about manifesting something new and different in this physical world. And it's not the sun and the moon are not the only planets that we have in Taurus right now. We also have Uranus in Taurus, which is why I am calling this a revolutionary eclipse, because what Uranus is doing right now in Taurus is it's revolutionizing our value systems. Whatever sign Uranus goes into, it kind of flips it on its head. And you can easily see that because of the way Uranus orbits. All the other planets orbit in a motion like this, but Uranus flips on its side and orbits like this. And that tells us right there, and as well as Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, and it rules revolution, it rules change, radical change, that will, it rules transformation, not just on a personal scale, but on a huge societal scale. And having Uranus in Taurus right now means that we are going through a major transformation, both in our internal world and our external world, of our values, of our personal value systems and our societal value systems. And that everything right now, whether we see it or not, is kind of being shooken up and kind of flipped on its head, because that's what Uranus does. It kind of shakes things up, throws things around a little bit, and kind of flips things on its head to see things from a new perspective, to like Uranus is the great inventor. And so in order to invent something new, it has to look at things from a brand new perspective. It has to flip things upside its head. And that's what's happening with Uranus and Taurus. Now, we've had Uranus and Taurus for a little while now, but we haven't quite felt it as much as we're about to feel it with the eclipse, because now it's going to become personal. So having the eclipse in Taurus is going to usher in a fresh start, a new, I like to call it a new mood for us all, because an eclipse refers to the sun and the moon the sun and the moon conjoining, and the moon. Another way to think of the moon is to think of it as kind of the mood that we all, what we all feel. And so this eclipse is going to be changing our internal value systems so that we can manifest what it is we really want in the real world. But having Uranus there means it's going to be incredibly different, transformative, revolutionary, something that we ourselves never would have thought of before. It's going to be kind of uncharted territory for all of us with what we're embarking upon in the world, as well as what we're embarking upon within our own spiritual selves. So you can think of it this way. We are all changing on an individual level because Uranus in Taurus, and with this eclipse in Taurus, it's going to usher in this energy of changing and disrupting new values and bringing about new values within all of ourselves. And because we are all changing on an individual level, that's going to change everything in the outside world on a societal level, because society is controlled by individuals and the choices that we all make. And so because of that, we're going to be seeing a lot of new and I would say unprecedented changes and transformations because of this Uranus and Taurus. Now, let's talk briefly about the degrees here. We have the sun and moon when they apex, meaning when they conjoin completely on top of each other, will be at 10 degrees in Taurus. At that moment, Uranus is going to be at 14 degrees in Taurus, and the North Node will be at 22 degrees Taurus. Now, let's briefly talk about what all that means. The degrees indicate kind of the purpose of that energy, what it is really trying to convey and bring about for us. So we understand that we're ushering a new era of values, and we are, because Uranus is there, we are revolutionizing those values within ourselves. Having the sun and moon at 10 degrees, that is a degree that is already ruled by Taurus, which is super interesting because it could be at any other degree. It could be at a Gemini degree. It could be at a Jupiter degree, which would be signifying something else. But this is at a Taurus degree. So that means that this eclipse is all about manifestation. So I would really suggest that you have some powerful manifestations that you have made a list of, that you start making goals that you will be striving towards with this, because this eclipse is saying that it's going to deliver to you in the physical world, physical manifestation of that which you value. So whatever it is that you value, whatever your value systems are, you're going to see the physical manifestation of it in your life. It's going to come to fruition in the physical world. Because why that is because Taurus rules the physical world. And having this eclipse at 10 degrees, which is a Taurus ruled degree, is saying that we are going to see whatever value systems it is that we hold, we're going to see the fruition of that playing out in our actual lives, in our day-to-day lives. Uranus being at 14 degrees, which, remember, Uranus represents the revolutionary, the mad scientist, the person that shakes things up in the crowd to bring about needed transformation. And as we just discussed, Uranus and Taurus is transforming our values right now. Having Uranus at 14 degrees is saying that in numerology that narrows down to 5. So that's saying that this is a more intellectual transformation. So what we think it has to do with our mind, and what we think is going to be what causes this transformation. So it's going to be this great change is going to be led on by the change in your mind, in your thoughts. And so whatever you're thinking and whatever it is that you are holding within your mind right now, I would say really be sure that you are not in a bad headspace during this eclipse, because what this chart indicates is that what you're thinking is going to bring about that change in values that is going to manifest into fruition in your real life, in your day-to-day life. So these manifestations that will be happening and changes that will be happening in your life from this eclipse, they're not just going to be like, oh, I have a new belief system now. It's going to be more like, oh, I am now seeing how my belief systems are changing my life, because it's led me into this place where I'm living in a new area. You're going to see this in the real world. And when we get into each one of the signs, we're going to discuss how that's going to play out in each one of your lives. But in the meantime, keep in mind that this eclipse is all about the changing of your values, of your value system, in order to manifest the life you've always wanted. Now, it's making some really strong aspects over to the stellium that we have over in Pisces right now. And we have Mars in Pisces at 11, we have Neptune in Pisces at 24, we have Venus in Pisces at 27, and most importantly, we have Jupiter at 27 in Pisces. So we have a ton of Pisces energy right now. And with all that Pisces energy, most of it is making a sextile to the eclipse. And what's most interesting about this is that Venus conjunct Jupiter is at 27 degrees, the exact same degree as one another on the day of the eclipse, and it's making a nice sextile to the North Node and all of this Taurus energy. Now, the interesting thing about it, and this is what I find most interesting, is that the ruler of this eclipse is Venus, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. And what that means is that the ruler is going to be kind of showing us how do we make these manifestations that we're setting, how do we go about achieving them? How do we bring our values and the things we deeply desire into this real world? Well, you look at the ruler. So the ruler is Venus, and Venus is conjuncting Jupiter right now, both in Pisces. And Venus in Pisces is a beautiful place to have Venus. It's exalted there. And having Jupiter conjunct it, whatever sign Jupiter is in and whatever planet Jupiter is conjuncting, it amplifies it. I always view Jupiter as like an amplifier that you plug a guitar into, or, an amplifier you can plug lots of things into, actually. You can plug a guitar into it, a bass guitar, you can plug any instrument that allows you to plug into it. And that's how I really view Jupiter, is it makes it louder and it makes it more prevalent. So Venus being exalted, Jupiter is also exalted in Pisces right here. It is like a great big amplifier, an amplification upon this energy of Pisces, which means, one, that our manifestations right now are highly blessed by the divine, because that is what Pisces represents. And two, it means that in order to achieve these manifestations, we have to be plugging into the right belief system. And that correct belief system is supposed to be coming from the divine. Why? Because it's Pisces. So Pisces rules subconscious beliefs, and subconscious beliefs tend to come from the divine that we choose to plug into. And that's different from everybody, for everybody. We all, some of us choose to plug into the same divine source, and others have different sources that they plug into. And so this is what we kind of hold as our personal sacred divine belief system that each one of us is plugging into. And what all these sextiles are meaning to the eclipse is that in order to manifest this new revolutionary value system that will change our life and change the world around us, that we are meant to have within our life, we have to first let go of any beliefs that are hindering us, that are halting our progress. and we need to be sure we're tapping into the right belief systems that will get us to the correct values that we want to manifest. So that's really key for this for this eclipse. Now, with the cards I pulled, we got the Six of Wands, we got the Hermit, and we got the Fool. And I think it's pretty funny that the Fool came out with this, because I always view the Fool as kind of as an eclipse card in general. And even though there's really no, I don't know, there's nothing with that card that is affiliated with eclipses, but the Fool is always a fresh start, and it's a bold, new, fresh start that's kind of shocking. That's why they say the Fool is ruled by Uranus. And here we have this bold, new, fresh start coming, especially with Uranus involved with this eclipse. And I feel like these cards are telling us that if we are tapping into the right belief system with the Hermit, and this Hermit card says introspection underneath. This Six of Wands card says victory underneath. And I feel like Spirit is telling us with this eclipse to be going inwards, to be healing our subconscious belief systems so that we can manifest the victory that we all deserve. And I feel like Taurus is telling us that if you are clicking into the right beliefs for you, and the right if you're clicking into the right beliefs that are giving you the correct values for your life, then you're going to be manifesting a victory in this Taurus season. So that victory is going to be coming also from the thoughts in your mind. So make sure, I know it sounds funny to say, but make sure you're thinking correctly. Don't let any toxic thoughts into your mind, especially at this time. Like, just lovingly let them go, because you want, right now, this is an ample time for your thoughts and your values coming into fruition, and you should, you don't want to be manifesting, anything that you don't want in your life. So hold on to the more Venusian things, the lighter things right now, because that's what we want to bring into fruition. So the other part of the chart I pulled some cards on is Pluto. Now, the cards that came out for that was the Habit and the King of Pentacles, which I found this very interesting. The King of Pentacles is Taurus's card, which I think is perfect because this is a Taurus eclipse. And the Habit is in this deck, I think it's the Devil card, actually, in this deck. And with the Habit, it says dependency underneath. And I think that that's just perfect for what we're going to be discussing with the South Node of the eclipse. Now, the North and the South Node, they are always intertwined. And within astrology, that we always say you want to go towards the North Node, not the South Node, because the South Node, one, it has a lot of weight to it. It's kind of like a vortex. That's the word that Spirit was giving me with the South Node and Pluto. That all South Nodes are like vortexes. They kind of pull you in, and it's easiest to go towards the South. And whenever we have an eclipse on one sign, it opens up the vortex of the South as well. And it kind of represents what we need to beware of and overcome, the hurdle that we need to jump over in order to reach the goal of the North, which is Taurus, which is that King of Pentacles. And I really like this King of Pentacles card because I feel like it really shows the very Taurus type of characteristic. I see Taurus as very firm, very steady, very, very determined, and very forthright. Like, Tauruses know what they want. They know how to go about getting what they want, and they will stand steady and firm until they get what they want. And I feel like this card, you can just see that in her eyes. She's very forthright, very strong. She is not budging. And I feel like that is something that with this eclipse, we all need to kind of integrate within ourselves, that Taurus stubbornness towards our worth, being stubborn towards our worth, towards our goals, towards our manifestations. Like, because of the vortex, I just think this is the perfect card to show Pluto in, it's a very Pluto card in general. And to also show Pluto in Capricorn, because this card in general, in this deck I have, it's called the Beautiful Creatures deck. It's a tarot deck. And this is represented by the Devil card. And the Devil card does represent Capricorn in traditional tarot. And this, I feel like, is a good representation of the ruler of the South for all of us. So let's talk about that for a moment. Capricorn, well, not so much with Capricorn. The South Node is going to be in Scorpio. Well, it is in Scorpio. The South Node is in Scorpio. And the ruler of the South is Pluto. And Pluto is in Capricorn right now. And what does that all mean? Well, that means the vortex that's going to suck us in and pull us away from our ultimate goals and pull us away from our worth and manifesting our value has to do with Pluto, which represents, interestingly enough, addiction and kind of bad habits. And I feel like this card is perfect for that, for a visual representation of it, because Pluto, we're looking at the dark side of Pluto, not the light side, because it's the South Node, and anything that's on the South, we kind of look more towards the dark because that's what we want to go away from right now at this time. So Pluto kind of represents these emotional, kind of like vexing habits that we have that are kind of geared towards going too far in things, that kind of just going to extremes in things. And those extremes, an extreme of anything tends to be what hurts us, what causes us harm. Taurus tends to be more about moderation, and Scorpio, the opposite sign, tends to be more about going to extremes, getting to the depth of things, getting to the root of things, which I love that about Scorpio. Like, I love Scorpio energy, and I can go off on all that, but so this isn't about Scorpio energy right now. We're just talking about the North and the South nodes. So this is not personal to any Scorpio sun, moon, or risings or anything like that. This is talking about the South node and the collective energy. So just to keep that clear. So Pluto representing going too far in things. The sign that it's in, Capricorn, representing where we're going too far in things. So what does Capricorn represent? Capricorn represents society. Capricorn represents the world. Capricorn represents achievement. And most importantly, Capricorn represents the status quo. What is considered normal, what is considered, what it is you should do in life, according to society, according to institutions, according to certain standards that were set up by other people that we all follow, the institutions that we all follow. And what I'm getting, one, from the cards, and two, from this, the Pluto in Capricorn representing the South is telling us, in order to reach our manifestations with this eclipse, we have to be willing to kind of buck the status quo. We have to be willing to go against the vortex of perhaps habits we have where we go too far and we wind up almost like hurting ourselves from going too extreme in things, where we tend to think that we just need to blindly follow what it is that we have been taught. One, because it's a habit, and two, because it's been the status quo for so long. This is the vortex that we're all being kind of sucked into, and what the universe is telling us to pull against for our manifestations is to turn against whatever that status quo is within your life that is kind of sucking you in and pulling you downwards and putting you into a place where it's almost like you're going too far with having to follow that quo, that you wind up hurting yourself. That's why I like this picture so much, because it's like it's her pet. And I feel like that's, it's something that she loves and something that should be a comfort to her, but it's showing the toxicity of that relationship. It's very Pluto-like, the low road of Pluto and the low road of Capricorn, of like loving something so much, even though it hurts you so much, that you won't let it go. And so with this, I feel like we're supposed to be letting go of things, even if it's things that, we've held on to for so long and we feel so attached to, like as though it's our pet. And I'm not talking about your actual pets, by the way. Please hold on to those. But like that, using it as an analogy of like that maybe these institutions, whether it's things you used to believe in the world, whether it's like religions or perhaps like different belief systems you used to have, or it can be any sort of thing that represents a status quo, a standard that you've held on to, that at this point they're all going too far, because that's what the universe is showing, that so many things are just taking it too far, and because of that we're holding on to something like it's our own and it's hurting us, and it's time to let that go so that we can allow ourselves a new dawn, a new day, a new bright future to bring into fruition. So the last part of this reading has to do with Saturn and Aquarius, and I pulled 2 cards for that. I have the 5 of Swords that came out, and we'll talk about that. And I have the 7 of Pentacles that came out. And the 5 of Swords with this, I really love this depiction of the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords usually represents someone stealing from you. But this one says defeat. And the thing I love about this one is it's about painting the roses red, pretending everything is fine when it's not all fine, trying to cover up things for someone else. And with the 7 of Pentacles, it says progress. What I feel like these 2 cards represent, what Spirit is trying to confirm for us through these cards, has to do with Aquarius. Has to do with Saturn and Aquarius. So Saturn is going to be at 24 degrees, and it's going to be making an exact square to the to this eclipse energy, to the North Node. Now, what I feel like this eclipse, as I've been saying, this eclipse is all about manifesting change in the real world for all of our individual lives. And Saturn rules the physical world to the highest degree. And Saturn in Aquarius represents the vibration that we all click into in the physical world. You could also think of it as Saturn in Aquarius represents the groups that we belong with or don't belong with in our personal lives and in society. Because, it's both one and the same, because as individuals we are a part of society. And so what I feel like this Saturn in Aquarius means, is I feel like that's the key to overcoming the hurdles that might stop us from manifesting the better life. You could even say the beautiful garden, because Taurus, it rules gardens. It rules abundance. It rules bringing wonderful things into fruition. It rules, some people believe that Taurus is actually ruled by Earth, not Venus. I happen to believe Taurus is ruled by Venus, and I use it that way. But I know a lot of astrologers believe that Taurus is actually ruled by the Earth, because it is so earthy. It is so connected to the part of us that is, real and raw, but beautifully vibrant. And Saturn, being the highest earth sign, being the last earth sign in the zodiac, represents the highest octave of Taurus. And so it represents our highest goal. And what we're seeing with this square to the north node of Saturn, and having Saturn being in Aquarius, is saying that what's blocking us is actually, we have this kind of block with the real world, with the world around us. And a lot of those blocks are actually coming from groups and the vibration that these groups are giving off. Why? Because it's in Aquarius. And Aquarius rules, when I say vibration, I know that can be a little confusing. Vibration as in, you could think of it as kind of just like that which you vibe with. You vibe with one group or you don't vibe with another. And I think you all kind of know what that means. Like, oh, I fit in with these people. I don't fit in with these other people. I fit in, with people who like and roll, who like rock and roll. I don't fit in with people who like country music, or I like, not that you can't like both. There's lots of people that like both. But I'm just giving you an example of how there's certain things we vibe with, certain things we don't vibe with, and Aquarius rules that. And what we're seeing here is that there's kind of like this little hurdle between that we all need to jump over between the groups of society holding us back from our manifestation. And what Spirit is saying is, in order to jump over this, we have to all stop painting the roses red. We have to all stop within our personal lives. We have to all stop saying everything is fine when it's not fine. We need to acknowledge that within ourselves, that in order to achieve our greatest manifestations and the life that we all truly want, we have to stop painting things over and glossing things over that are not okay, and pretending like we can just tolerate it and it will just be fine. We have to be willing to every day be taking steps in a new direction for a new life for ourselves that will allow us to be truthful and honest about our true colors, because Taurus rules our true nature. It rules our true colors of who we truly are and who we were truly born to be, because it rules nature. It's, as I was saying, it represents Earth. It rules the nature of our souls and the nature of our bodies and the nature of our minds. It rules that which we truly are, which is why it also rules beauty, because that which we truly are is what is truthfully beautiful. And so I feel like in order to get past this block caused by Saturn to the North Node, we have to stop vibing with the wrong people. We have to stop trying to force ourselves to believe things that at our heart and core we just don't vibe with anymore, and be willing to see things for the true colors of what they really are, even if it's hard on us, because that's going to lead to a greater sense of self-worth, a greater sense of self-value, and a greater capacity to stand on our own 2 feet and manifest the life of abundance and of beauty and of truth, all of which are Taurus things that the universe is calling us towards right now. And with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like what Spirit is saying is to keep in mind that Taurus is not a fast sign. It takes time. You have to be willing to put in the time and to be patient for great things to come to pass. And it's not going to be, a one and done quick type of thing for this transformation for our greatest manifestation of our innermost values. It's going to take time, it's going to take patience, and it's going to take effort and work. Earth signs like to work. I don't know if they like to work, but they do work. They work hard, and that's why they are the greatest achievers of the zodiac. Anyone with strong earth sign, they are great manifestors, great achievers, and that's because they put in the effort, they put in the time, they put in the value in themselves, and that's what all of us, no matter our sign, we're all being called to do right now at this time, is to put in the true value and the true effort into ourselves. So, with all that said, that's the collective reading. If you enjoyed this collective reading, please give me a like, because that helps my channel to grow, and please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell if you want notifications on every time I upload more videos like this. Bye guys!